I grew up in Chicago. My father was a union guy, so politics was pretty simple. You vote Democrat or I'm tearing up your birth certificate.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's either vote for the Dems or be
right.
disowned.
And what happened to you?
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. I realized I was an idiot back in the mid '80s. Somebody in New York. I was working in New York in the clubs at Catch a Rising Star, and some guy referred to Ronald Reagan as a capitalistic swine. And it came a point on my way home, I realized I didn't know what the word capitalist meant. So I looked it up, and that little voice that God gives us says, man, you're an idiot. You make your living with words, and you don't even know what a basic word means. And when I read what the word capitalist meant, I thought, gee, what's wrong with that? You know, I didn't understand why that was a bad thing to put associated with swine.
And so you started to look into what things were, and then you went out. You went out and started revealing this to people.
Right, exactly, at a comedy club.
That wasn't really a smart idea.
No, not at all. And I have all the tact of a bull in a china shop.
Why do you suppose that is? Why do you suppose that you can't be cool and conservative? Why is that?
Well, it's a narrative, and if you don't fit the narrative, they got to shut the narrative down. I believe that. I mean, so, and this was long before I was, I became a person of faith. But I don't know. It was interesting to me. I had a guy. I was telling somebody once I was really miserable. I was at a 12-step convention or something, and I'm 6 or 7 years in the program.
Convention? I didn't know they had convention.
Well, they had them. You know, a bunch of drunks get together.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just called a keg party. That's all that is.
It doesn't sound like a good idea. Hey, let's all go out of town.
Vegas.
Let's go where there's some bars and some hookers.
Yeah, my last night drinking, I was in front of Graceland in Memphis, screaming for the king. So,
really?
And some guard comes out and says, "You'll have to leave. You have to wait for the morning." I go, "No, I was just wondering if Elvis left any Valium under the bushes. I'm a little jacked right now, and I can't get to sleep." So.
Really not good.
No.
But you stumbled onto us, and you've been a fan of like Moron Trivia. And
oh my God, I was so glad you brought it back. It's so nice to sit at home and feel so good about myself.
Right.
I used to work in a mini mart, so I mean I have an empathy for that. You know,
how was that? How'd that work out for you?
Well, I worked the graveyard shift, and I was manager. I want you to know that.
Wow.
I was
impressive.
You were just wearing a shelf.
I was impressed until I got to work and found out I was really the only guy there. So, I had to fire myself. I caught myself stealing a few times.
Right.
What was interesting was because it was late at night, you get these guys that would come in and take you out of your meditative trance, you know.
Right.
You know, why am I such a loser? And I can't, why am my life where it's at? And they go, hey, where are you keeping the SpaghettiOs? You know, there's 3 aisles. You know, why don't you and your Mensa friends get together and figure it out on your own? So then they pick the can up and start walking to the microwave. And you would say, no one could be that stupid as to put a can into a microwave and then fire that thing up. Well, you know, the depths of ignorance in America never cease to amaze me. Not only do they turn it on, they put their face up against the glass and admire the sparks. So you got to figure there's someone 3 blocks away with a pacemaker pounding their chest. Oh, God, they're cooking another can again. What's going on? I hate this neighborhood.